sound. Foes await you silent all around. Malign, if they get the chance. They were born in bloody circumstance. To go, leave me, run like you've never run before. A voice from the underground, given room to breathe, not but be drowned. So die if you get the chance. Better men than you've been left this dance. To go, leave me, run like you've never run before. I have seen the worst, and there is nothing left for me to hate, so I can lay me down, my brothers, on the ground. I bled today until Coyote comes to raise me up and carries me away. To go, leave me, run like you never did. No, leave me, run like you've never run before. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Scottish Rugby Podcast in association with the Scottish Rugby Blog. I'm Craig Manson, and dealing with a busy old day today, a little bit less prepared as we all usually are. We're prepared. I don't know if we usually are, but anyway, we try our best. Try to be professional, but we're getting there slowly. So bear with us tonight. We had a couple of technical issues just as we started, so we're a little bit late tonight. But I've said tonight, I'm going to have to just give up on this, Alan. Just completely. I was trying to explain and be nice to everyone. It's all Alan McDonald's fault because I'm going to blame him because, why can't I not blame him?
My second screen not working, which was one of the tech issues, is actually my fault because I put the plug into the wrong thing and I was blaming my son.
I've got written down today in my book. Today. Not this evening, not tonight, nothing. Anyway.
We should recommend, maybe we should rename it the Day-to-Day Pod. I mean, that wouldn't get mixed up with anything else, would it?
Absolutely not, absolutely not. Today, and joining me today, is someone who thinks Glasgow should just take Sean Everitt from Edinburgh and fly him to New Jersey and then plunder Edinburgh's resources. Mark Riley, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, and that's probably a fairly accurate statement, actually.
Well, more on that later. I was going to say that's another story, but I don't want to start marking Leslie's card. Also joining us today is a Glasgow fan who was going to defect to support in Edinburgh, but John Anderson found his defection letter to Glasgow in the photocopier and has banished him first. Allan McDonald, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm hoping people are keeping up with news because I'm trying to reflect the news that's going on just now, and I'm just, hopefully people are keeping up, because I'm trying to be funny, and then if people are just sitting there going, I don't understand what he's going on about, then it'll be trouble. And finally, making her debut on the Scottish Rugby Pod on a week that we really don't have much to talk about. It's going to be a long one, I think. Someone who has received special FBI training in preparation for this pod, Leslie Ramage. Again, there's a Traitors reference before. Nobody laughed. And it's a Traitors reference. I said, not everybody watching Traitors. Come on now.
I missed last night's because I had choir, and I'm missing tonight's because of this. So.
Right, okay. Well, that's just, I've ruined part of it for you. Leslie Orange, how you doing, Leslie?
I'm very well, thanks, Craig. Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing not too bad. First of all, 2 bits of housekeeping to get out of the way. If you were going to be playing rugby for the Barbarians, what club socks would you be wearing?
Oh, well, like you, Craig, I'm a Fifer, so it would have to be Dunfermline.
After this speak, what, another knife in the chest? Holy Moses.
I don't have any other clubs, so it would just have to be a pair of Dunfermline ones.
Fair enough. Actually, I've got
Sorry, can I stop you there? Did you guys read the comment from Johnny on our social chat?
I haven't read the comment yet. What's he saying now?
Well, we had the quick thing, and don't forget to ask Leslie.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to it. Yeah.
And Johnny's exact words were, if she says Dunfermline, she's never coming back.
Yeah.
Just go now, guys. It's fine.
A little bit of fight around there.
2 more. Is it Ripple or a Flake?
Ripple.
Absolutely. It's the
Ripple.
Yeah.
Can't read chocolate's rubbish, so.
You can't be wearing a white and black jumper and then eating a flake, and then you just get the chocolate just melted into the white and black jumper. What are you going to say, Alan?
I now have a vision of you doing the sort of girl from the Flake advert with the bath overflowing.
Oh, me? It's always a bath overflowing when I'm in it. What are you talking about? How rude.
I'm standing in a glass house chucking those things. I feel like the Spira erasure on this podcast is, I think the right answer to Flake or Ripple is Spira.
Yes, I would have a Spira if that was an option. Much better.
There's always 1 or 2 deviants in amongst everyone else. And the last one is your meal deal. What is your go-to meal deal?
Oh, I haven't had a meal deal in a long time. It would have to be probably a chicken sandwich with salt and vinegar McCoys and a Diet Coke.
Nice. Well, you saved it all there by having yourself a fridge cigarette, which is what our family call Diet Cokes. So that's what the current Mrs. Manson has decided to create. She's obviously, decided that I'm far too addicted to these food cigarettes. But I'll tell you what, I don't care. They make me feel better. Maybe that is the addiction. I don't know. Anyway, that's a different story.
Another one for the Bingo card.
Anyway, so we'll move on. Let me just get this out of the way. Hello and welcome to Scottish Rugby Podcast, brought to you by the Scottish Rugby Blog. Our podcast is part of the Sports Social Network, and don't forget to give us a follow or a like on your favourite podcast app. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to give us a follow on social media. You can find all the links on our site, www.scottishrugbyblog.co.uk. If you're listening on Apple and like what we do, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like more content and you enjoy what we do and you want to support what we do, you can subscribe to our Patreon from just £3 a month plus a VAT, and that gives you access to a super secret Facebook group and the second part of tonight's podcast, which will have plenty of swearing in it, I'm sure, as well as some Patreon exclusives, which we keep promising to do, and then life gets in the way. So we'll try and do some more. So there we go. Ladies and gents, that's all the housekeeping out the way. We'll move on to the news. And we're going to do the whole thing about stop all the clocks. And what's that whole thing about that's in 4 Weddings and a Funeral? It's Chaucer, is it, or something like that? Anyway.
Odin, I think.
Oh, it's Odin, yes it is, yeah. Hugh Jones is leaving Glasgow for the second time, taking with him Adam Hastings as well. I think, Allan, Adams Hastings has kind of been blown out the way by Hugh Jones surprising everyone by telling us he's leaving, yeah?
Yeah, although actually, I think Hastings is the one that Glasgow are going to have to fight to replace faster than Hugh Jones, because Dan Lancaster, an injured Charlie Zavala, and a young lad on an academy contract. Whereas in terms of players that can play 13, they've obviously got Stafford, they've got Duncan Munn. I don't know if Kerr Yule's a kind of ambidextrous centre where they can play 12 and 13, or he's just a 12. But, there's options there. Zavala can play in the centres. And obviously, I think they've had an inkling that Shug might be away because they've been playing Ollie Smith at 13 a lot. And that seems like the obvious sort of replacement. And I think it's been a wee bit of Shug session planning, so to speak.
Oh, and boom.
One for the jar.
First bit, straight in, get the money in the jar. Johnny McGinty will be spitting already when he hears this.
£22 I'm at the moment. At some point, I'm going to have to make a donation and show you the receipts.
At least we'll get a pint off you at some point. Leslie, both players, probably especially Adam Hastings, considering where he's going, I guess looking for their payout because they're getting close to the end of their high-level career, maybe.
It's a short career. You've got to take the money when you can get it. It's a shame for Glasgow, but Hugh especially is going to be on a decent whack of cash and he doesn't play a huge amount through injury and resting through Scotland protocols and whatever, so it's budget you can free up elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely, because I don't think either of them will be on a small amount, although Adam Hastings especially will be looking for that big payout because he's had a fair bit of trouble with his injuries, Leslie. Yeah,
he has. He's been good this last few weeks. He was a bit ropey when he first sort of came back, but he's obviously known contracts were up and putting on a nice performance for his new club.
Yeah.
He will be missed. He has been good, but he's shown no inclination to stay. So let him go. Let him get the money. Either bring somebody else in or get a transfer from Edinburgh or something. Who knows?
Well, you never know. There's going to be probably a lot of people from Edinburgh in the market, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that later. Mark, obviously Adam Hastings off to the Death Star, as our friend David from America calls it. He's obviously been he's up on a charge for something, allegedly, before anything says. But who, obviously Allan's just talked about who's going to play at 13, who they think they're going to play at 13, but surely Glasgow have a 10 in mind, seeing as Dunkey Weir's away and now Adam's away, and you can't just be leaving it to the Nepo baby who loves Scarlet so much he gave them an illing for Glasgow. What do you think?
I think Hastings is absolutely the one that needs replacing before Shug. I think whether they've got somebody in mind, I don't know. There's a...
Sorry, I was meaning Dan Lancaster.
There's what?
He's Dan Lancaster was the one I was meaning because he's the Nepo baby. That was the one I was.
There is a ginger player late of this parish who has not been getting on so well at Edinburgh, but I'm not convinced he's a natural replacement for Hastings. Who knows? Maybe they think they can live without it, but you've got to figure that with the combined wages of Hastings and wee Meatball, they'd be able to go to market and find a 10 that fits their profile.
You'd hope so. And imagine the furore of Ben Healy signing for Glasgow. The Munster fans would be going apoplectic. But I'll tell you what he does bring is a metronomic boot.
Oh yeah, I mean Healy's no slouch at all. I think had Hastings been staying, I think Healy would have been a fantastic addition to the Glasgow squad. I just don't think he's a replacement for Hastings.
Yeah.
In his playing style. But then
Yeah.
again, maybe the playing style can change. I mean, Glasgow are not shy of reforming Edinburgh castoffs.
Well, there is that, plus the fact that if you had Sione Tuipulotu outside you, I think you'd play a lot better.
Yeah.
But that's
Worth
Moving
saying, sorry, before we move on, apologies, but it's
No.
worth saying that Fergus Burke signed his Saracens deal in 2024. Usually, as we know, most contracts are 2 years.
2-year deal.
Hashtag he's moving to Glasgow.
Oh, you never know, or he could come up to Edinburgh and be ruined. But that's
Get my glass bottle of Iron Brew and a wee half bottle of Buckley.
Absolutely.
He's coming to the Weege.
Do you think he's good enough, though? I don't know.
Well, that is the $64,000 question, isn't it? I find myself in an argument with Johnny, who increasingly keeps saying he's not the answer, but I think it's a wee bit harsh judging him just on a couple, 3 Scotland games, 2 starts. So maybe that's the short answer.
Well, I've watched him for Saracens, and I forgot he was on the pitch because he did nothing. He was there, but he was doing nothing. He was just shoveling the ball. Nothing.
I think he's very similar to Ben Healy in that way, apart from that, he doesn't kick the kick as well as Ben Healy. But yeah, you're right. He is there to shovel the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because I watched Saracens Leicester and just to see how Saracens were doing. I think it was you, Allan, posted on the message and saying, "Oh, how's Burke going?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I'll pay more attention." And actually, I did, and came to a similar conclusion to Leslie that he's fine.
I've forgotten the lad's name who's playing for Leicester at the moment, but he'd be a perfect 10 for Glasgow to pick up because he wouldn't have. Who's the young lad? Well, I call him a young lad. Billy Serrell, who has played for something like, it sounds like about 10 different teams in the last 2 years, but he seems to be doing a great job for Leicester at the moment. So he'd be a great person to sign up for a couple of years to give him somewhere to hang his hat for a little while, we'll wait and see. Moving on, Christine Belisle has announced her retirement after 42 appearances for Scotland. The tight head prop from Canada will still be playing at Loughborough Lightning, but will continue. I think she's quite an advocate for health, and she's a personal trainer as well, but has really been a fantastic addition at tight head prop for Scotland. Leslie, really someone that, has a really proven career coming through a fairly bumpy time with Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, she retired or tried to retire just before the World Cup when she wasn't going to get her contract renewed, and the feeling at the time certainly that she hadn't been treated very well with that contract ending with the SRU. And she wasn't going to be playing on the World Cup, etc. And she was obviously quite upset by that, and had posted around that. However, she did get a call up when who was it that was injured? Was it Leah Bartlett maybe got injured?
I think remember. You're right actually.
And she got to play in the quarterfinal in the World Cup, but I'm guessing again, obviously, with her contract not being renewed, new coach coming in, we're pretty okay, I guess, at the moment on props. But she was a great player, and she's obviously well loved by the rest of the girls. And it's a real shame because she's not that old that she she probably needs to retire, but I can
Yeah,
see why she is.
Yeah, and I think, Alan, that it seems to be a lot of the players who are playing and getting a wage down in England are getting less of a support from the SRU in this latest round of contracts. But a tight head prop will always have a great affliction or a great bonding with tight head props on this podcast. She really was a breath of fresh air when she came on the scene. I guess a little bit like Molly Pullman, who's coming through the ranks just now. But she will, it's a real shame for Allan, for the end of the Scotland career to be kind of dark clouded like that was for over the last year.
Yeah, and I think, look, it is sad. It's always sad when international careers end, and it's always. But I suppose all sporting careers end in failure in the end, don't they? They either injury or just retirement and petering out. I think it's elite sport, and elite sport is brutal for players, but I think what is very clear is that SRU could and should have handled that contract situation much better and dealt with people better. And it's I don't have an issue with coaches and performance directors deciding that certain players are probably not going to give enough to be on the next stage. We need to bring new people through. That's always going to happen. How that's dealt with, though, I have an issue with how it seems to have been dealt with.
Absolutely. And Mark, Sione Fukufuka named his 50 players to join him at his first camp at the Orium in the last couple of days. In fact, it was today, actually. And joining him will be his new assistant coach, Ian Cunningham, or is it Ion? I just thought it was Ian.
I think
Ion. An interesting group of players, but an interesting couple of coaches.
Yes.
Especially, let's just hope that none of the Scotland players allegedly are out in the car park being forced to sign any contract agreements. But an interesting group of players.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying something like 22 new caps.
Yeah,
or 22 uncapped. That's a lot for a tournament squad. And I know it's an inflated squad, so some of them will be, I guess you'd call them training players.
Yeah.
So they're joining to train with the squad, and they won't stick to it. He'll probably cut it down by 15? Go to maybe high 30s, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some good calls in there, players that I'd like to see in Scotland shirt. I think one of the benefits we have, the Scotland women, we have an exciting bunch of backs now. And actually, if you look at the up and coming women backs, that excitement's not going to drop any. We got some great players in there. I only saw the list earlier. I can't even remember if Sky Filmster's in there, for example.
She is, yeah.
She's fantastic.
Yep.
Because I was saying to Eleanor on the socials recently that I've seen her play live 2 or 3 times now, and she is rapid. She absolutely reminds me of Darcy Graham.
Yeah.
The watching her on TV does not do anything like the justice, and I would love to see her in a Scotland shirt. I think she's one of these players you just know is going to light it up, But we got some great forwards coming through as well. I mean, the likes of, yourself, the likes of Molly Pullman and Del Ferry are back in there, even though they are capped. They don't have a stack of caps, but they're going to keep going. You've got Ayla Ronald going in there now as well, and there's some. Yeah, I'm genuinely enthused by it. I think there's some really good players coming through that are going to hopefully stand Scotland in good stead for several years to come. Because let's face it, like the rest of us, the old guard aren't getting any younger, right?
Well, that's it. That's true. Very true. And actually, well done to you for helping me out with the call out. I was supposed to Manson Jr. Knows Sky Finster, and I was to give her a shout out. So he said the next time you're on, just make sure that Sky gets a shout out because she's doing really some good things, and it's nice for me to shout out someone who's not from the How of Fife.
Yes, indeed.
So it's always quite nice.
Speaking about, sorry.
No, on you
Speaking
go.
of shout-outs for hometown clubs, Highland and Aviemoore's finest, Rihanna Dara, Glasgow scrum half, has made the squad. So she played my daughter's team. Wanted to play hooker, is now playing scrum half via 12. So
Fair play.
Hey,
so
listen.
you can see how Rihanna approaches scrum half from that, I think.
She does like a bit of contact and goes forward from the rucks regularly rather than passing the ball. It comes to us all. That was people used to think I was more of a scrum half than a prop. I chose a prop, and,
I think that was a half scrum, Craig.
Well, the proof will be in the pudding. Definitely with the squad. Hopefully, they all have a good time. They enjoy it, and I'm really, really interested to see Sione Fuka. I'm trying my best I'm getting a bit Jamie Lyle trying to pronounce his name correctly. I'm really interested to see what his style is going to be and what he's going to do with the Scotland team. I'm actually quite interested and quite excited about it. I'm not. It's not the let's just say it's nice to have a coach I'm excited about signing with the SRU. And did you see my link there? Did you see what I did there? Because I'm about to just the last bit, seamless. The last but no means least, celebrating mediocrity, enjoying inconsistency. Edinburgh fans are so lucky to know that Sean Everitt, his contract has been extended for a further 2 years. Have we got much to say on this one? We'll start with let's just start with our guest, Leslie.
Well, it's a decision that's been made.
Yeah, I think that's been it. It's
where it's come from, who knows? But
David Nucifora, apparently, he's the man. He's the one that's coming out talking about it.
Yeah, let insert Nucifora meme here. Why?
He's obviously been in Australia a lot, not actually watching Edinburgh play.
I don't understand how you could watch or even look at the results of that Edinburgh team and think, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy we want. That's him. Just utter nonsense. Why you would think that it's a solid 8, 10, 12 place is good enough, and he's had 3 years and has still not done any better, and to think that that we'll keep going with that guy, keep doing that. Mad, totally mad.
Yeah, well, that is the thing, and Allan, he's been tasked or he's been celebrated for bringing young players through the system, and he was something like 15 years or 10 years with the Sharks, and this is what he did. I've really only got one name to put forward, and that's Freddie Douglas. There's someone who got his first international cap before he got his Edinburgh cap because he was kept hidden away at Edinburgh for some time. But am I just being over dramatic, Allan?
But to be fair, I think we're all being unfair.
I've come to you for positivity, Allan.
Well, we're all being a bit unfair because I think Everitt has shown I've got a good idea of his youth development strategy now, and actually, I think there's a lot to be said for throwing spaghetti at the wall to see which sticks, because that's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing. It's either like, oh God, we might as well try something and see if I can fool them into keeping my job, which is what I feel it's been like. Or it's been a bit pouty, but we won't give me proper players, so I'm just going to play youth players. So
yeah.
It might be wrong, and they might turn out to be Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, and suddenly sort of blow everyone away, and we'll be doing the "you don't win anything with kids" nonsense. But I think, I think that's highly unlikely, to be honest.
Tim.
Yeah, and Mark, well, funnily enough, Brian Dalglish has just said a very similar thing that I'm about to say. But the Edinburgh attack coach, I've forgotten his name. That's how much I know, that because we were all surprised that we actually had an attack coach. Has been saying he's really excited about the attack for the next, and it seems to be coming. It seems to be coming to fruition for him. We've got both. We've got two of, or have had, two of the most remarkable, skilled, amazing attackers. I ran out of words for them, but Duhan van der Merwe and Darcy Graham, who are both now, well, there's a good chance that Duhan won't be selected for the Six Nations squad, and there's a chance that Darcy Graham becomes the fourth in line behind Kyle Steyn, and their names have just gone right out of my head.
Kyle Rowe, Jamie Dobie.
Kyle Rowe and Jamie Dobie. Thanks, Leslie. Appreciate it. Mark, is this a Donald Trump thing where the SRU aren't watching the same team? You know, we're looking at someone who picked Ali Price in front of Ben Vellacott, and then everyone was surprised when Ben Vellacott would come off the bench and re-energize the team.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm a bit like you guys. I'm kind of at a loss. I have all the words and none of them are suitable for the public portion. Basically, I mean, all of these I genuinely don't understand. Now, like all of you on here, I have my opinions about rugby, but I'm no expert. I've just been watching it for years. But I can't see what they're trying to do. The attack coach going on and saying, well, our attack's going well. What?
What attack?
Yeah, absolutely. That was entirely my response. What attack are we talking about here? Because I'm not seeing it. And he absolutely is not bringing youth through. You know, in the last two European games, it might have been the last three, 2 out of the last 3, he had debutants on the bench. He had Jerry Blythe-Lafferty debuting at hooker, and Ewan, guy's name escapes me, the second row, debuting on the bench at second row. If these guys are good enough to play in European matches, why is this their debut? They should have been getting brought in, given game time, given experience. The guy's doing nothing. Throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks is absolutely the right analogy for it.
Yeah, and I think we are obviously now. You know, one thing let's be fair on this, and let's try to bring a bit of balance in that we're not there every day seeing what he's doing in the background, and we don't know what type of coach he is because, you know, the usual thing with the SRU. Well, two things: the SRU have closed shop, and not very many people get to talk to him. And when people get to talk to him, people fall asleep in about 5 minutes after listening to him, so they don't really know what's been said. But Allan, you had something to say about.
I just think we do know what kind of coach he is, Craig, and it's a not very good one.
Yes.
Well, yes, yeah, and I'm trying to be balanced here because I'm hosting tonight. But once we go into the Patreon section, I'm going to be pretty sweary about it because I'm very much like Mark and Leslie and yourself probably, and a lot of Edinburgh fans. But the problem you have is when you've got an 1872 Cup, you've got Edinburgh fans booing the team off the pitch, and whether people aren't, all I can think of. Well, first of all, Johnny Petrie has said that consistency is key. They've had too many coaches in the last few years, and they want to ensure that that the consistency comes through to build this youth team and bring the youth team through. So, two things: David Nucifora is all over that because he's wanting to bring Scottish players through, young Scottish players through, but also We've spent all the money on Glasgow, so we're not paying Franco, so we're not going to be spending any more money on Edinburgh. Now, that may be me being an Edinburgh fan and being incredibly biased towards Edinburgh, but it just seems to be that there seem to be, Mark. Any of you can maybe tell me I'm wrong, but it seems to me that they've kind of gone, great. Well, we've got a really high performing Glasgow team, so we'll just leave Edinburgh to it and just keep celebrate the mediocrity of Edinburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency is key. Yeah, great. But consistency of mediocrity is not good in the sporting context. To give him a 2-year extension, one of the things that I'm astonished by is giving him a 2-year extension at this part of the season.
Yeah.
Because let's be perfectly honest, it is still touch and go whether Edinburgh make the top 8 again this year. Again. Yeah. And this is his 3rd year. Edinburgh have had 3 years of consistency, and Everitt has proved to be consistently mediocre with a team full of internationals.
Yeah, and
not good enough.
No, it really isn't, and especially when we're all celebrating a phenomenal comeback, which they did have at the weekend, Leslie, a fantastic comeback, but it was against a Gloucester team who are getting pumped regularly in the Premiership. Where I've heard from many Edinburgh fans, Leslie, most of them who usually are happy clappy. Let's not, we love the boys, they're fantastic, etc. Our boys, etc. Who are saying this is the last time I renew my season ticket this year, and I really do think that the only way that we're going to, I'm going to say the word punish, I don't know, but send the SRU a message is by lack of money in their pocket. Am I not right?
Yeah. I watched back the Edinburgh game yesterday, and it took Edinburgh 67 minutes to get into the lead against a Gloucester team who sent their BT because they're hampered with injuries as well, and obviously can only play what they've got. So it took 67 minutes to get into the lead against a Gloucester team who are 8th, 9th in the Prem table.
Mm.
And
well, Mark was saying they had a mortgage advisor at prop.
They did, yes. He's part-time. Yep. So we're rewarding that. We think that is good enough to continue, and that's the kind of thing that you're saying to fans, this is good enough because this is what the coach is giving us, and this is therefore good enough if we're extending him for 2 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I've seen lots of people, lots of Edinburgh fans saying, I'm done until he's gone because I'm just not doing this anymore because he's had 3 years and done nothing. What is suggesting he's going to do something in the next 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's entirely the point. If you were saying, he's only had a year or maybe even 2 years, you might be going, well, give him a bit more of an opportunity. You got to build a culture. You got to build all that sort of thing. This is year 3, and it is identical to years 1 and 2.
The giving them the extra time, that was last year's contract or this year's contract. That was these are the 1-year extension.
Yeah.
But we've looked at it and gone, yeah, actually, that's the guy.
Can you imagine? And I know it's not always correct to compare both the pro teams. However, can you imagine if Gloucester had sent that team with their mortgage advisor prop to Scotstoun? Glasgow would have torn them apart, and easily. They'd have been home and hosed by half time, not scraping a 2-point win by the end of it.
Yeah. On that note, we will call it a time just now on the free-to-air side of the pod, and we'll take this discussion because I've got plenty of sweary words to take this discussion over to the Patreon side of things. If you're ever interested in being supporting what we do, if you do go to www.patreon.com/the Scottish Rugby Pod, you can help support us there. big thanks to Allan and Mark for joining me, and huge thanks to Leslie for joining us. It's great to have you on the pod and to have your input, and I'm looking forward to the Patreon side of things to hear how you really feel. Anyway, to all of you, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you all for joining us as well, and we will be back next week. See you all later.
See you, folks.
Bye.
Oh, I've got to do this, haven't I? Idiot.
Now, if Rory asks, it's your fault that we went over 40 minutes. If Rory
No,
gets,
no, you missed my message, Craig.
I saw the message. I'm only winding you up.
All right. No, Leslie, just so you know, there was an issue whereby if we run over 40 minutes previously, it puts an ad randomly right in the middle on the public section.
Okay.
But we discovered only in the last handful of weeks that is now no longer the case.
Okay.
So, you know, as long as we
Fair
like in
enough.
the public section.
Does anyone want a break before we go on, or we'll just get on with it?
I'm all right.
No, I'm good. I'm okay. I've still got a wee bit of this left.
My
I'll
bladder
probably-
seems to be okay, so let's go.
Excellent. All right. Well, we are all set for the patrons. So hello all. Thanks for sticking with us. To all you lovely patrons who support us in every way we possibly need. We've just we're still reeling from the first half of the pod in the fantastic news that Sean Everett's been given another 2 years to discharge all of the good players out of Edinburgh because they're fed up and walking away. I don't know if you all saw, if any of you saw that the Edinburgh game when Duhan was taken off and his head shake. And I'm thinking, you know, there's two things with Duhan. Duhan is absolutely fucking ruined at the moment. He is absolutely and utterly he's not confident. He's really struggling. And remember, if you saw any of the build up to the Lions, I think it was, and he talked about it, about coming to Edinburgh when his confidence was in the floor in Edinburgh and all in Scotland built him back up again. And I feel he's an injury away from being back to where he fucking was.
Yeah.
Although there is a thing. I know you were annoyed because they took off Duhan to bring on a winger. But actually, Gloucester had kicked into Duhan's corner a couple of times, and they crabbed, you know, across the field. And there is a weakness because he doesn't really have a boot.
He did fuck it up, but I think this is the problem though. If you don't give Duhan the ability to run forward with the ball, all his highlights are him making mistakes in the defence side of things because he's not getting the opportunity to kind of shut all of that up, because we've all known for years that Duhan is all action and no defence, really, aren't we?
Yeah. That's fair, and actually Edinburgh aren't launching him, and it's not just Duhan that looks miserable, is it?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Well, Brian's correct. Brian's just put a wee note in there as well, and Leslie will probably agree, but that, you know, Wes Goosen is not the player that he was 6 months ago, 10 months ago.
No, he looks miserable, doesn't he? He's
Even
just.
Darcy looks miserable.
Well, I can't remember what pod I was listening to, but whoever it was mentioned that Darcy had obviously made some kind of mistake and ended up kicking the hoarding at the end out of frustration. It might have been the BBC one, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, that's really quite out of character. We don't really see that kind of behaviour from Darcy. So, you know, if it's got to the point that he's showing how frustrated he is, you can imagine how everybody else is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But again, and I'm sorry to kind of take over this part of it because, you know, we're all having a laugh about how I'm trying to keep it in. But you've got to look at these players. You know, we talked about it, and funnily enough, we talked about some of the more senior players leaving and going getting a payday and going actually playing somewhere else. And I think we're at that point now. I think obviously I actually feel that George Horne should be away from Glasgow at the moment and going and playing his rugby somewhere else to get a bit more of a sort of a spread. But I think Darcy should be heading away. I think Doohan will probably head away. Pierre Schumann, I don't know, because I think he's probably in with the bricks at the moment. But there's a lot of players in there that would just go, you know what, I've fucking had enough of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think I did think that about Horne when Ali Price was there. I agree with you on that point. I think now, though, Horne is getting the rugby.
He's not getting the Scotland caps.
Oh, he's not getting the Scotland caps, but moving away from Glasgow is not going to change that, right? That's a Tooney decision. He's clearly done something nasty at Tooney's cornflakes, right? It's I don't know what it is, but I don't think George Horne moving away to France or the like will increase his Scotland caps.
Who moving away to France has increased their Scotland caps?
Kinghorn, probably.
Kinghorn.
Well,
No. Let me rephrase that. That's wrong. What I mean is they've developed as better players.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And I think I just feel that I just feel that we're at this. I've always been as you've probably heard me talk about, I've always been one that I think Edinburgh at this moment in time is a safe bet for Scotland players. They come into Edinburgh and they're coddled and they're cosseted and they don't have to try too hard. And that's my concern, because if they've got a coach who's struggling with a game plan and we're struggling with an attack, and you've got players there that are now, one of the we always used to go on about he who should not be named trying to do everything he possibly can to win Scotland games, because Hogg would just go, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself. And he made a lot of mistakes because of it. Darcy is going down that route for Edinburgh. Mm-hmm. And he's getting to a point where he's getting fed up of standing in the cold on the Murrayfield end, the Murrayfield at the Lothian stand, or on the other side, getting fucked off because he's not getting the ball. So he's coming in more, and then he's getting absolutely fucking mullered by a big South African at some point. I'm just really frustrated, and we said this from the day one when they said we're giving we're bringing in I forgot what they called him, but we're bringing in a trial coach almost to see how he gets on.
Oh yeah, he was he wasn't head coach, it was senior coach.
Senior coach.
Yeah.
And the writing was on the wall from that fucking start point anyway. But anyway, that's
senior coach, and we don't want him. But
but anyway, sorry to go on. We'll maybe revisit this in a minute when we go to Hands in the Ruck. But better news: Claremont 21, Glasgow 33. Glasgow secure their place in the knockout, the final 16 of the European Cup. Apparently, after their Toulouse performance, Johnny McGinty thinks they're going to win the whole thing. Tries from Kyle Steyn, a couple of tries from Kyle Steyn, Hugh Jones on his return, Ewan Ferry, and also the old Australian, who seems to have adopted Sione Tuipulotu's finger guns, or Sione Tuipulotu has adopted his guns. I don't know. Allan, being our resident, we're putting you in the resident Glasgow supporting side of things, seeing as they're in your region. Not really, are they?
I think Highland are Glasgow. I think.
You're practically from Paisley, though, aren't you?
I'm from Irvine and Largs. I am not from Paisley. I'm from
Largs. How dare you?
If you want, I can do the Kelvin side accent.
But a good performance, especially in the boiling pot that is Claremont, and who used to be a team that you didn't look forward going to play against at home, but the thing that faded over the years. But that's a great performance. Glasgow have the European Cup at their feet at the moment, yeah.
Well, they're certainly playing very well. There's a game against Sarries that they need to focus on. look, it is entirely possible that they'll come out of that with 5 points, and if they do, they're in a great position. I think there's only a couple of teams that can be on 20 points. But, if they beat Sarries with a bonus point, F's doing a lot of heavy lifting there, even though Sarries haven't been that inspiring, etc. And you realise this will be the one where Fergus Burke proves everyone wrong and plays an absolute blinder. It would just be unplayable at 10 suddenly.
Well,
worse.
Well, you see, the I'm going to call him the Rugby Joseph because he came before the Rugby Jesus. Owen Farrell will probably end up playing at 12, with Fergus Burke at 10. Leslie, and you never know. He may bring the old Owen Farrell high tackles with him and things like that.
They were on the pitch together at the weekend, and I can't say it was super convincing, but the weather was terrible, to be fair. But Owen Farrell's 45 now, something like that.
Yeah.
Can't be far off it.
45, 47 somewhere.
He's not looking particularly great, I didn't think, when he came on.
No.
Fergus Burke doesn't look great. I mean, really, Saracens won because Toulouse were absolutely honking.
Yeah.
This was not like a flashy Saracens show. It was just Saracens boring rugby.
Well, apparently it's all fucking Blair Kinghorn's fault for him being at 10, apparently, but that's a.
He didn't play himself at 10, did he?
I will not hear of that. But it's an interesting one because you're looking at Toulouse, who, and I have to say, I was listening to Lee and Josh on the Blood and Mud, and they probably hit it right on the head. That I think Toulouse are at a point where they just think they're so fucking good that they can just get anywhere they want and do whatever they want, and they've had a bit of a slap in the face mark. So I don't think if I got a good feeling, well, good feeling's the wrong word there because I don't want anyone thinking this is an Edinburgh-centric podcast, but I've got a feeling in my bones that if Glasgow come up against Toulouse again, Toulouse will properly show them who are 6 times European Cup champions.
Well, possibly. I think Toulouse will not be overly concerned for not getting home advantage in the knockouts. But equally, I don't think they'll enjoy coming back to a cold, wet Scotstoun again. So you never know. I mean, Leslie's right. Toulouse were honking at the weekend.
Here's another little tidbit, Mark. Both games, when they were honking, were played on plastic pitches.
Yeah, there you go. They don't like it. So I mean, for me, Glasgow's opportunity in this tournament rests on Saturday. In many respects, we could have done with Toulouse winning at the weekend, and Saracens just throwing the towel in. But I think Saturday's going to be Sunday, rather, isn't it? The Glasgow game. Sunday's going to be a real teller, because if Glasgow do take away 5 points, they could be a home advantage all the way through the knockouts, and that changes everything, right? I could see Glasgow making the final, but only if they win this weekend.
Yeah, well, Northampton Saints made the final, so anyone can. Allan, we are looking at a Glasgow team who don't really need home advantage to win things, because everyone told them that they were going to go to Highfield and they're not going to play at high level and this, that, and the other, and they've not got home advantage, and they won the URC down there. So, it's not, I wouldn't think it would scare Glasgow, but they've got a home advantage, so I suppose.
Do you know what? If you're given a choice, would you like home advantage or not? There's something far wrong if you say, "No, don't. You're fine."
No, you're all right. Yeah.
But Glasgow can't hear the crowd because there's so much. They're so far away from all the crowd with the running track round the outside. They keep going at us about our tent poles, so I'm going to start talking about the running track.
You realise that, it's not. It's a standard width running track. It's not it's not like I don't know,
Multi-lane motorway.
Ben Hur or anything like that.
Yeah, but it's all more fun for me taking the mick.
Fair. And you've got, I mean, because I'm only very nominally a Glasgow fan. I'm one of these. I like both Scottish teams to do well, wankers. So I can, yeah, we're in Patreon. I can say that.
Yeah. Well, now you've got to understand that you can't go. You know, if you don't like what people are saying about your team, Alan, all you need to do is lock the comments on your forum, and then you'll be fine. Anyway,
we know how that's going to go, so we've turned off the comments. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Well, can I just because I'm going to go. We'll go back to Enhancer, I'm sure, but there's two people that are the most orange and blue people I know, who have both. One of them who writes in print, the loveliest friend of the pod, Sandy, the Borough Watch, who writes regularly and is very, very can see the positive side of Edinburgh on a regular basis. His latest blog that he's just written is just it's disbelief. I met him at the 1872 Cup, and him and I just stood outside the lads' toilet, because that's where we met each other, and just looked at each other and shook our heads and went, "What the fuck is going on?" And this is, I can't believe this is, what's going on now is this.
Has he written a response to this?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't read that yet. That'll be this evening's news once we're done.
Like, seriously, it's not like it's.
Oh, I love the way he writes. I look forward to reading it, because it'll be as measured as he possibly can be.
Yeah, and and I love him for it. Good on him. I enjoy reading what he writes. But it's just like that, and there are team favourites who get their pictures taken with all the team members talking about getting season tickets for fucking Kingston Park and watching the Red Bulls play. So it's just unfucking believable.
Funny you should mention that. I know we saw that post in our messages, but it has occurred to me, because as you guys know, I said off air, I'm moving down towards Jed, right?
Oh yeah,
Edinburgh is an hour 25 from where I'm going to be.
Yeah,
and Newcastle is an hour 30.
Yeah,
And
I had a really nice time at Newcastle when I went down. I went down to Newcastle Leicester Tigers, and it's a great wee place.
Yeah, I have heard this. I have friends. My ex-in-laws had friends who were big Newcastle fans and took them down for a day, and they absolutely loved it.
Oh, and by the way, just if anyone from the SRU are listening, I know they aren't. Newcastle serves Guinness and lager, and also that fishy stuff, whatever the other beer they have, in 2-pint mugs.
So you don't have to keep going back to the bar.
Yep. And not in fucking cans that you pay fucking £7 for, that you pay fucking £1.50 at fucking Tesco's. Other shops are available.
I wonder what their soft drink offering is.
I can fill up with fridge cigarettes anytime I want, but they're expensive fridge cigarettes. But then mostly, if you used to buy your cigarettes at the machine in pubs, they were expensive anyway. So,
and both of you are such big Gregor Townsend fans. Surely his involvement with the Red Bulls will only be a draw for you.
Oh, absolutely! You've got to believe that.
Talking about mediocre coaches who get contract extensions, but anyway, so we better. Well, sorry, Glasgow fans, we've not really talked about Glasgow that much. We are probably in a little bit of awe, because you're sitting there kicking ass in the European Cup. We're kind of a little bit jealous, I suppose. You guys aren't, because some of you support Glasgow or like to see both Scottish teams doing well. But just for any of you that are not team, Alan McDonald has just given me the wanker sign. How dare he?
Let's be quite clear that my exact phrase is, I like to see the two remaining Scottish teams doing quite well.
Oh,
because they binned my team, right?
Somebody's been speaking to Cammy Black. Here we go. The Reavers are coming back.
Cali Reds.
Well, hey, listen, the Cali Reds are back.
Ish.
Ish. Well, a couple of Howe players in there. Not to mention Howe Fife. I've mentioned Howe Fife again. Here we go. So anyway, we'll move on to Edinburgh 26, Gloucester 24. I think we kind of talked about that a little bit, Leslie, already, haven't we?
We don't need to talk about it anymore, Craig.
They came back from a 13-point deficit. Tries from Ben Vellicott, Ewan Ashman, Liam McConnell. Penalty try after Ben Muncaster thought he'd gone across the line, but he'd been brought down illegally. Second in the pool. However, they have Bath this weekend away. Now, Bath would probably play their third team against Edinburgh and probably, mind you, to be honest, Northampton Saints did play their second team against Bath and they bumped them at home. So there's hope for us yet, Leslie.
No, there isn't. No.
Come on, you're supposed to be here to help me out, man. Jeez, oh.
Have you seen the team Bath have put out? There's absolutely no chance.
And
We're putting out.
I just saw the team that Edinburgh put out. I didn't see that.
Bath have gone full bore. Every first line, you name it, they're playing. No bin juice for Bath.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So
Edinburgh's team reads like a who's who of rugby because you read down it and go who.
Well, actually,
we've got the classic debutant this week as well.
Now, I have
the
to say,
winger guy.
there's a lot said about this young man, even though I've forgotten his name.
No,
There's a lot. Yes,
That's him.
there's a lot said about him, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, he's about as exciting as the other debutants. Some of the other debutants, because Liam McConnell got man of the match last time in the Gloucester game. Kyle Steyn got man of the match, player of the match for Glasgow. Just in case our Glasgow listeners are not unhappy with me not mentioning Kyle Steyn, because you have to mention Kyle Steyn every 10 minutes.
You didn't see the Glasgow game, did you?
I didn't see the Glasgow game, no.
No, so you'll have missed Kyle Steyn taking the ball off the top of the line out. And
Off the top of the line out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and passing it to a shift drive for a score. It was a thing of beauty.
It was a
Being lifted by Howe Fife's own George Horn.
Yeah, I mean, it was utter bonkers stuff.
Like,
So clever.
you see, now, like I've never ever wanted to support Glasgow, but like I'm having my eyes turned a little bit.
Honestly, mate, it's great rugby.
Yeah, but I can't park at Glasgow. It's a disaster, and plus you can't see the team. You have to get binoculars to see the team on the field because of the running pitch. So I can't.
I thought that about my Murrayfield seats, and then I realised that I'm 50 and I need glasses.
You get glasses. Usually, you've got two in your hand.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Edinburgh beat Gloucester. Obviously, saved Sean Everitt's career, and he's got his extension from it. I love it. I love European Cup rugby when they come to when we used to get Saracens up and give them a pumping and send them home. Those were the days. But it's great to see big teams like Gloucester come up and Edinburgh to win. I'm always a big fan of seeing Edinburgh winning, no matter who's coaching them at the time. But anybody got anything else to say about that Gloucester game, or are we just skirting over it because it was a win, but it was a bit pish? I thought they did quite well.
I will be nice. Some of the young guys did actually play quite well. Freddie Douglas, 5 turnovers. Very good.
Actually, it was Freddie Douglas that got man of the match, not Liam McConnell. My apologies.
Liam McConnell was also very good, to be fair. But yes, it's not the old guard that are putting in the performances.
So
in the last few weeks.
Here's a question for you, Leslie, Mark, Allan, Liam McConnell, Freddie Douglas. What's his name? Glasgow player, was captain. Forgot his name.
Rory Darge.
Rory Darge, old Australian.
Fat Makerson.
Yeah.
I'm not spoonerizing his name again. That
Or
was
one of the Ferguson brothers, as Sam Warburton would say. who do we pick for out of there? Then you've also got
Jamie Ritchie's turning up out in Perpignan.
Jamie Ritchie out in France. We've also got Finlay Oyama Christie.
Andy,
Sorry. Oyama Christie. We've got Finlay Christie. You know where that's coming from?
you know the list of ones that got away, Craig.
Well, hey, listen. There's Edinburgh fans who have gone. They've extended Sean Everitt's contract 2 days too fucking early because Scott Robertson's just been sacked as the All Black. I'm thinking, on what fucking planet are you guys listening? Hold on a fucking minute.
Yeah, I've got my hands in the rock, Craig.
Sorry, I just slipped into it just because it's been sitting there inside me like this. What do you think Scott Robertson's going to go? Oh, Christ!
So maybe if the Scotland job was free, then you could maybe see him going for that. But anything below the top whack, not a chance. Maybe Franco's replacement when he takes the Scotland job.
Just think though, his suit wouldn't get so wet and covered in mud if he breakdanced on the plastic pitch. So you never know. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we live in Scotland.
I honestly think if he was to break dance at Scotstoun, it might be the last thing he ever does.
You can see bottles of vodka getting thrown in the pitch.
Exactly.
Actually, they wouldn't reach him because it's so far away from the pitch.
No, that was a good callback.
So out of those back rowers, you've got the old guards, you've even got Magnus Bradbury, who is playing incredibly well, no matter what anyone says. And I'm sorry, John Anderson, you almost were visiting us tonight and you didn't. You chose to play tennis instead. So I'm going to say Magnus Bradbury is doing a great job, and I don't even have anyone saying that he's not. But you look at those players that are all coming through. Come on, we're going to have two of them in the Scotland squad for the Six Nations, aren't we?
Yeah. I think Liam McConnell's down as being rested for this game, and you wonder if that's ahead of the Six Nations. And you just think, I quite fancy. I think we should actually look at having McConnell, having him playing second row with Gregor Brown, and then you could have Matt Fagerson, or you could have Jamie Ritchie, the ageing Australian, and Rory Dards as your backs, and go for a 6-2 split, and have Matt Fagerson and Freddie Douglas as your bench.
Yeah, we see. Sorry, what are you going to say, Mark?
No, we keep talking about, because we know that Franco's been running Stafford at flanker. So Stafford and Dobie or Horn on the bench. Schrodinger's
7-1. No,
Schrodinger's 7-1. Yeah. Exactly.
I would probably bump. I'd probably bump Jamie Ritchie to the bench to come on to help control things if things are going south, and put Freddie Douglas on the wing with Matt Fagerson and the old Australian.
I get the distinct impression, and I haven't seen him play, but from what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing from other people, that what we're seeing out in Perpignan is the old Jamie Ritchie, like up in the BQ quite substantially. So bringing him on to control things might not be what we're all looking for at the end of the game.
Well, Jamie Ritchie's
fired up.
Yeah, he's got a lot to work out there, I think, and we can, and he's maybe he's trying to bring up his worth. You never know. So we'll be done with Edinburgh, Gloucester then. We'll just knock that on the head and just go into hands in the ruck.
Yeah, if you want.
What's Brian saying? With McConnell and Douglas heading to Six Nations may open up for his new Edinburgh talent to come through like Hamish was.
I think Sean Everitt would rather poke his own eyes out than play Hamish Watson.
It seems to be that, yeah. I think he was like that with Ben Velikot for a while, and then all of a sudden, every time Benji came on, he would score a try or at least get an assist, and he had to kind of play him, unfortunately. Ben Healy's the same. What the fuck did he do to Ben Healy? What did Ben Healy do to Sean Everitt?
Well, the smart money seems to be that he criticised
Well,
He did. He told him he was shit.
it's like allegedly. Oh no, we can't.
Allegedly.
We could do it on the Patreon. It's fine. Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of people telling me shit at the moment, and are we all going to get banned from Murrayfield? Anyway, that's a different. Yeah,
You're getting Ben Healy on the bench this weekend, though.
yeah, we've got Ben Healy to come on.
Oh, see, oh, nice one. I didn't
Nice
notice
little
that.
bench spot.
Excellent.
Yeah,
He's never coming on.
Bet he's so glad he came from Munster. Eh?
Ben Healy can't wait to be sitting on the bench, sitting at the side there, waiting on Alfie Barbary, Thomas DeToit, and Thingy Reid coming over and running over the fucking top of him. I would be really looking forward to that as well.
He's not getting on unless Ross Thompson is injured. Ben Healy's sitting for that on that bench for 8 minutes.
Fiver says if Ross Thompson gets injured, Charlie Shields went in at 10.
Probably.
Right, well, Mark, you better get your wine glass sorted.
Yeah, I'm going to give Leslie her bingo
Oh,
card.
another one for the bingo. Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to go with.
I think we've lost Craig. I think
We
he's
have.
getting
He's-
out of the show.
He's
And
run away.
Disappeared off as well.
Right, Alan, it's on you. You're host now. You got to fill in.
Maybe.
I'm here. Yay!
Actually, I probably have more experience of podcast hosting than that that Claremont event player had had a plane
Nothing.
lucid. I've genuinely actually hosted a radio show, but Craig's our illustrious leader, and we believe in Craig.
I wouldn't
He's
say
his
that.
Netherlands
I
dictator.
believe it. Well, I've not done much to make you feel happy-go-lucky tonight. Anyway, I'm back for this. And Mark, sorry you missed it.
We've reshuffled.
Yeah, because I kicked myself off for some reason. I just wanted to get out and back in again quickly before you finish filling up your glass of wine. Anyway, this is who switched that off? Is that your fault, Alan McDonald?
No, I'm a guest on here because Mark still hasn't told me how to log in properly. So, no, I'm definitely not taking the blame.
Hands in the rock, who has got their hands in the rock? Hands in the rock, hands in the rock, who has got their hands in the rock?
We're sorted. There we go. It's the hands in the rock section. Tonight it's just going, sorry, Leslie, we're usually a little bit more kind of, like, organised.
Tonight has not been a high watermark.
No, we're not. I'm
I
just
listen
very
every
good at
week.
editing out the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it's hands in the rock. This is the time when we work out what's been boiling our piss, what's been ripping on that, and what's generally been making you feel like you want to watch fucking football instead of rugby this week. See, as you're here, it's your first time on the podcast. Leslie, what is your hands in the ruck from this week?
I'm not going to do the obvious one. I'll leave that for you, Craig. But
Alan, I'm sorry. I'm handing over to you, Alan. My apologies. Did we not talk about this?
Yeah, no, it's quite all right. We kind of lost it when you cut yourself out. We kind of did the bet when you were away.
Oh, right, you did it without me. You could have.
I thought when you cut yourself out, I thought, oh God, Craig's gone for it and set it up. But Leslie.
Sorry. Anyway, crack on, Alan. On you go.
No. Okay, Leslie, your hands in the ruck, please.
my hands in the ruck this week is Boring Old Men Online. It's not Sean Everitt.
Good scene in attack, Leslie.
I know.
Bit harsh.
Christine Belial's retirement announcement went out from the SRU, and they made like a nice comment about her being like a powerhouse in the scrum, blah blah blah, and nice, fine, whatever. And the boring old, always white men in the comments, just always got something to say, and it's never anything nice. Just what what's she done? You know, the team always get beat, blah blah blah. And like, just shut up, right?
Yeah.
You're never nice to say about someone's retirement. Just fuck off, right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you have to say. So that's what's got my blood boiling this week. It's Sean Everitt as well, obviously, but I'll let somebody else take that.
My
Well, that
attitude.
segue. Actually, I was going to say
No, I was
that
just gonna say
segue,
my
but
attitude. You hear that all the time, and my attitude is quite straightforward to people like that. Unless you have played at international level in your sport, male or female, sit down and shut the fuck up. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, you might be bigger, you might be heavier. You are not anything like the athlete that Christine Belial is, right? Bottom line, you know? And yeah, drives me nuts that people feel that they should have the right to criticise because they once played for Abercombe Nowhere's third 15.
Listen, I'm just telling you my truth. I'm just telling you my truth. I'm just being honest here. Hang on a minute. How many fucking Scotland caps have you got? And how many times have you become a professional athlete while holding down a job?
Yes, quite.
Also, honesty is not an excuse for being an arsehole. You know, I mean, no one's asked you for your honesty, pal. You know, I'm bigger and heavier than Christine Belial, and I'm 100% certain she'd destroy me in scrummaging. So, this whole I'm just being honest, just speaking my truth. No, you're being an arsehole. Sit down, shut up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand.
No,
and segueing
totally
into the sorry, Mark.
No, I'm just saying I totally agree.
No. Segueing into the Sean Everitt thing, I think we have to go to our illustrious erstwhile pod host Craig. What's rip you're knitting this week?
Sean Everitt, sorry, getting an extension. I'm sorry, we've talked about this, we've probably gone over it, but I'm doing it quickly because
I'm not sure how you feel, to be fair.
Well, I stopped having a season ticket when they employed him, mainly because I was, first of all, I changed jobs, so I couldn't go on a Saturday anymore. But also the cost of the season ticket had gone up and up and up. Yeah. Edinburgh Rugby have built a fantastic facility where they are. They're doing they're doing all these different things to create a fantastic atmosphere for all the fans. The fans, we've built the fans up from 2,500 fans that you could hear everyone eating their crisps at the side of the pitch while they were watching Edinburgh play in Murrayfield. We're up to 7,500 fans, or 7,400 fans, sellouts at the Hive, and they're still coming out for this team that has so much potential and seems to do fuck all with it. And people say, oh, well, you can't just blame the coach, you have to look at the players. Well, these players play and perform at a high level for Scotland on a regular basis. Darcy Graham, Duhan van der Merwe are the two players I will single out because they probably are showing you the biggest difference in club rugby to international rugby. Darcy Graham is sharp as a pin and, funnily enough, is is second to another player. Oh yeah, Duhan van der Merwe in Scottish international tries scored. And all we see at the moment is Edinburgh Rugby trucking out the middle. Funnily enough, we talked about this, or I think I'm trying to think who was listening. He was talking about it. In fact, it was the BBC fake Scottish Rugby pod who said in the Glasgow game, or the last few games, most of the tries, probably over 70% of the tries, have been scored by the forwards. And you've got, okay, fair enough, maybe we've got a centre pairing or a set of centres who are not up to spec or not up to speed or just not up to their promise that we've been promised, which is stopping the ball going out to the further extremes of the pitch. And you've got players who are at the top of their game, playing for their country, and they are coming off the pitch looking like they want to put their foot through a hoarding. Oh no, they actually did. It's a joke, and I really I'm absolutely when they employ them, they almost apologise for employing him when they first brought him out in front of the Edinburgh fans, and he's done nothing to inspire me as an Edinburgh fan. Everyone keeps saying to us, "Oh, they're taking their learnings and they're moving forward, and look at this, look, we're here, we're here." No. What happens is we're shite, and then we get one win, and it's usually an odd one, like the Toulon win. Haven't the boys done well? Haven't the boys done well? Yes, the boys done a great job. They're not being helped by their fucking coach. Coach is.
There's also something I think about the gameplay whereby there's no one that can pin a defence in the centres. So there's no realistic crash ball option. And they know the best players are out wide, so they're shoveling the ball wide. So when they do get it wide, they don't get any space.
Yeah.
Because the defence can just drift.
Yeah, if you watch how deep they sit incredibly deep. Now, I thought there was a glimpse of light because Ross Thompson started kick passing. And I thought, oh, go on, son, that's the way to do it. When Ross Thompson first came to Edinburgh, that's been knocked on the head, you know? And I just think, sorry,
Liv. Do you not think that it doesn't matter what 10 has played, the same things happen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
game plan related.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. I think the same thing happens. It doesn't matter the personnel. I don't think our centres are that bad. I mean, they're not Sione and Shug, right? To be fair, but the Edinburgh centres are not that bad. They're not.
James Lang has just not performed.
No,
Matt Curry, I think, was the closest to having someone.
That Matt Curry's all right. I think Lang's okay. Piers O'Connor is absolutely not, and he's the only one that shithead recruited, right?
The thing is, Piers O'Connor was fantastic when he played for Bristol because defence was optional at Bristol. And when he got the chance to run, he was very, very good at Bristol. But he didn't go to Connaught from Bristol for no reason.
No,
you know.
But yeah, I think it's game plan. Bottom line, I think it's game plan. I don't think it's player ability. Yes, we could do with a better 12, maybe even a couple of better centres. I know they thought that Mosesi was the guy. And yeah, he might have turned out that way. But I think, to put so much reliance on one guy to turn their entire game round. So do we honestly think that if Mosesi had played, Darcy and Duan would be seeing more of the ball? I don't think so. I think it's game plan. And I think it's a game plan that doesn't go above 12. It's that simple.
The thing is, though, and Leslie, I don't want to just dominate this because you're an Edinburgh fan and a vocal Edinburgh fan. Johnny Petrie has to put his hand up for this too, because is Johnny Petrie? No, not Johnny Petrie. Who's the Douglas Struth? My apologies.
Yeah.
Douglas Struth has to put his hands up for this too, because he's the one that's allowing the SRU and Nusafora to do this.
Yeah.
And he's seen these different. We brought in Mike Blair. Now, Mike Blair, I would love to have Mike Blair as an attack coach, but we still have, we couldn't keep him because they put too much pressure on him. Anyway, sorry, Leslie. I'm wondering.
Where's Douglas? Where is Douglas Struth? Because have we seen him? Has he come out and said, we're really backing this guy, or cause I haven't seen anything, but I may have missed it. But where's the, where the real backing of this guy? That if you think this is your guy, then show us that this is your guy. Back him. But it does feel like it's come from, Nusafora.
Yeah.
And I just, it's so frustrating because there's no consistency in the team. You can't pick a 9, 10, 12. Every week it's different, pretty much. And I know obviously people get injured, fine, it happens, but you'd expect some kind of regular people to be playing to build up that game time together, and we just don't see it. And then when he does, I don't know if he keeps hoping for this magical bullet that one combination is just suddenly going to work. It's going to be amazing, and it's all going to come together. But it's not.
No.
And I don't understand why we're playing this really forward heavy game. We're not Springboks. You've got world class guys in your backs, so why we're not using them? We don't. I mean, Steuben's great. Don't get me wrong, but is he one of the best in the world? Maybe, but
Johnny and Craig Leslie. And
I know, but I mean,
Pick a man when he's down,
good,
why don't you?
very good. But if he was really good, he may have been still in South Africa. Respectfully,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well,
I don't think you can say that and say respectfully at the end of it. I don't think that's how it works.
Sorry, but if he was, he would have been. He
Yes.
wouldn't have come here.
Here's Douglas's comments. Continuity is a hallmark of the most successful clubs in rugby. They've benefited from having coaches at the helm for extended periods. That continuity will be crucial moving forward. Sean has committed to bringing through a generation of young players who will pull on the Edinburgh jersey with pride for years to come, and this is vital. We have a clear blueprint, and a plan for the future on field, and this deal allows Sean to continue building our vision of local players becoming legends.
What horseshit, eh? Absolute horseshit.
All that says to me is that they've said doesn't matter if we win or lose, just bring through young players. There was nothing there, nothing in any of what was said there about performance on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Why
And
would you get?
fundamentally, that seems to me to be hoping that the consumer, let's be honest, the fee-paying Edinburgh supporters, that's hoping they just keep coming through.
Yeah, I think we could probably go on about this at some length. I think it's fair to say, and we already have. But it's been a very Everitt heavy. It's like blood and mud when it's Josh on with the Welsh guest after Wales have lost. It's, whoa! But I think, Mark, do you have a hands in the ruck?
I do, and I'm going to step away from Edinburgh and back to the Glasgow game and say 2 fucking yellow cards at the same time. Come on. I honestly thought that the ref had given Glasgow the kiss of death. Craig, you may not have seen it. Basically, was it? I can't remember. It was a young prop, was it? Who got
Schickerling.
Schickerling, yeah.
Schickerling.
Chicken wing. So he gets yellow carded for, I think it was not rolling away or persistent.
I think he just spat out the ruck and blocked it.
It was
Spat out on the wrong side.
It was persistent infringements.
Yeah, and then TMO's called him back for a deliberate knock-on from Horn. So penalty try, and Horn's also yellow carded. That's all fucking wrong. I'm sorry. Why don't you just say, and there was a guy over there who was offside, so we'll yellow card him as well and send half the bloody team off.
So this actually comes into my slightly whimsical hands in the ruck. I think Luke Pearce couldn't hear the TMO at that point. I think there was problems, technical issues, etc. with hearing them. I suspect if Luke Pearce had heard about the deliberate knock-on from the TMO, I don't think Schickerling goes off. The problem is he hears from the TMO about the deliberate knock-on. He keeps calling it a DKO, and you're like, this is not helping clarity. TLAs, three-letter acronyms, rarely help clarity unless you work in either line of duty or the NHS. We love them. I fucking love them then. But I think I don't think he would have sent them off. But because he heard after, I don't think he had a choice. And like when this is my hands on it because it's a positive one. It's the referee interactions. When Kyle Stein goes and says to Luke Pearce, does that mean the prop comes back on? And he's like, it doesn't work like that, Kyle. Come on, man. I like
that was
that.
quite funny, actually. Fair play to Stein for asking.
Oh, I mean, shy kids get no sweeties. But I mean, that was only going to go one way. But the other sort of slightly positive ref interaction that I enjoyed was after the replacement, the original tight head coming on and saying you could maybe play loose head. I thought it was really enjoyable because Talakai was like, look, his elbow. He goes to Luke Pearce, his elbow's been on the ground in the first couple of the last two scrums, and Luke Pearce was kind of like, I know. But the alternative is that we go to uncontested scrums and Talakai's like, yeah, that's fine. Forget I said anything. That's it.
That whole conversation about Pearce asking him, so can you play loose head? Probably. I don't know. It's just like, what?
I mean, I bend over, I bind, I push. I mean, that's it.
Well, the thing that at one point, he got pinged because he put his arm on the deck. He put his arm down to support himself. And Luke Pearce said, no, I'm sorry, you can't scrum with your arm on the floor. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if he's a tight head or a loose head. He fucking knows that.
Like, I mean, that's a penalty, whatever side of the scrum you're on.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that was proper funny, actually, to be fair.
I thought we better have something slightly amusing at the end after it being...
Well, considering the pun that you sent me in the private chat, Alan McDonald, and I'm not going to read that out, but was it yourself or who was it that sent me in the private chat?
No, it was Allan. It was
Alan.
Yeah.
You kiss your mother with that mouth? That's ridiculous. Anyway...
hang on. What on earth was that I sent you?
We're talking about continuity, and you sent me a one-word.
Alan.
Sorry?
On the site chat, the one you've just sent in the private chat here.
Oh, right. I see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alan McDonald is 3 whiskies in.
3?
Amateur. Oh, amateur. Well, I'm going to wrestle back control from Alan. Alan very kindly was going to do hands in the ruck for us so that I could shout about Sean Everitt for a little while. And thank you, Alan. Seeing as you've been a professional host at some time, maybe we should just get you to do a bit of hosting, and the current Mrs. Manson won't be sending me messages saying I need to slow down and stop being a fanny.
I don't think that's going to stop it, Craig, but yeah.
Oh, saucer of milk for table 10 over there, I tell you. Anyway, we will move on. We will call it quits tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on the Patreon. Patrons, we love you. We always are very, very happy that you join us and you support us in every way. So thank you very much. Big thank you to Alan and Mark, as usual, for joining us. And a massive thank you to Leslie Ramage for joining us. Now, am I right in saying it's still Missile Panda on the Blue Sky and on the evil dark web that is X? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully, it's not the we haven't put you off with the unprofessionalism and crap chat tonight, and hopefully you'll come and join us again at some point.
Indeed.
So thank you to you all for joining us. Thank you so much for everything that we do, and for you do, I should say. And we will. Now I'm getting to that point. I'm done. My social battery, my life battery is just done. So I'm going to leave it at that and say thanks again and have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. See you next week. Fuck's sake.
Good night, folks.
Bye.
Right.